Right, back again. What's happening in here? Not too much at the moment. It's looking good. I need to candle these eggs and just have a bit of a look and to see how far along they are, and need to 100% make sure that these ones are fertile, because this should be a pretty interesting pairing. I think it's two very different bloodlines. Both Leo and the hen here are very strong birds, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of result we get from them. I think this hen might have just been young. That's why she took so long to lay. That's the only thing I can really think of. And I can't really remember. A couple of these might have had some last year rings on them maybe. That's why I thought that they were probably a little bit older. So yeah, we'll see. I think we've figured it out though, and she will be ready for breeding season next year. Regardless, we just got this little test one out of the way, and Big Leo he done the job. He's a good boy, that one. So yeah, we'll see in a week or two what's going on with these eggs, and hopefully we get two quite healthy chicks out of them, which will be good. And we need to have a look what's going on here, because we have, you know, this season I did start early enough, but this season was a bit slower, which when trying to get some babies out, which is, you know, it is one of those things. We did bring in birds this year from a whole bunch of different lofts. There's a few different, you know, we had some like Apache and Rosetta come in. We had those 8 other birds that come in, and then bringing them and mix them in with mine. And we also had the best hen down here as well. She come in, and you know, sort of mixing all those birds together. You're gonna, you know, sometimes you might get the different canker strains mixing, and it takes the birds a little while to sort of get used to them. And I feel like it's just, you know, the season coming will be far better because all the birds should have settled. I don't really plan on bringing in anything extra at the moment, so that's going to be pretty good. Apart from the 2 that we do have coming that someone is gifting us, and that should be quite fine anyway. But anyway, you'll see I've got the little pig train here for these little guys. This is the second time I've filled it up today. I'm not actually doing it too deep, just low enough so they can get out and have a bit of a peck, because it won't be too far away and these will be weaned out. So I'm just trying to give them a really good head start. And now that I've got these nice big breeding boxes, which I do love, this size is perfect. You can see 2 nest bowls, and there's still plenty of room for, you know, the cockbird if he wants to sit here. And, you know, obviously if I want to put little bowls of grit and seed or whatever here, or anything special extra just for the pairs, I can do that. And it seems to be working well. You know, if I do build another breeding loft, and it's something that will happen sometime in the future, this is the kind of size that I will go with. It seems to work really well. But the only other thing I'm going to try and work on is having a better front system, so we can lock pairs in here to pair them up. This little girl here, she's doing well. I do really love this little hen. She's a daughter of 83, and she's such a strong little thing. It's unreal. So I'm very curious to see how her babies turn out. But so far these 2 little ones are looking really good, and they've got some really nice looking little wings on them too. So I'm pretty happy to see the genetics sort of popping out in these guys to be quite strong. So we'll keep these ones moving, get them out, and then try and get these ones out as well. So what I have noticed as well is that this other eggs here, I had a look at them earlier this morning when I was in here giving a bit of a clean, and it looks like these ones are starting to chip their way out too. So we'll be able to see how these ones are turning out as well. And that's the cockbird on there at the moment. He's kind of giving us a death stares, but yeah, it's pretty cool. He's definitely growing on me as well with this one. When he first come in, I was kind of like, oh gosh, what have I done with him? But yeah, he's getting there. I think he's just matured a bit more. Like I said, I just think those few that we brought in were younger than I first thought. But they're looking really good, and I'm curious to see how he goes, because he's almost, we've got to pick one of these 2 cocks, which is the one that's in this box and the one that was up in this one. Well, it could be this one as well, but I prefer to keep this pair together for our Pattaya birds that we're going to try and put together at some point in the very near future. Once all these are finished this round, we'll stop them and try and pair them up. But this cockbird might actually be on the short list to repair and try again, so that would be pretty cool. But you know, it just depends on our time frame that we got. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I'm sure we'll continue on with it anyway. And we've got little Apache up here trying to give us a bit of grief. I think he's just showing off. He's a bit of a weird one, this guy, but you know, we'll deal with him. I'm curious to see how he turns out, actually. He's so aggressive for a little baby, especially like a single nester. Sometimes they get a bit confident when there's two of them in there, but he's by himself and he doesn't really care. Hey? But he's looking good too. So these whole last rounds, I'm keeping a very, very close eye on them. Like I said, I'm giving them 2 days of Turbosol, just because we're in some real hot and humid. Some days is really humid, and then some days it switches around, it's super dry. And we're getting days, we haven't had any 40-degree plus days yet, but you know, it's getting pretty close. Most days are over 30 degrees, so we're getting 30 to 38 degrees. And the birds are definitely handling it better than I thought, but I thought with the heat and whatnot, and there's just the extra stress, the birds are going to be shedding a lot more those canker particle, whatever they are, the parasite thingies. So I thought, oh, we might as well just give those guys a little bit of extra help, and then hit them with probably 2 days of Turbosol, because you know, I want to get these babies out as healthy as possible. The first round were all right. We didn't have the heat swings and whatnot, what we're doing now. So it's a lot more, you know, I'm putting a lot more emphasis on the moment of just really, really watching the birds, especially the babies. I'm quite often checking their throats and stuff like that. We haven't had any canker present in the throat, but I don't want to get too far down that path of something happening. But you know, you still might get you know, the canker in other areas of the body that you can't see. So I'm trying to avoid that in this last round, because this last round's, you know, valuable to us, because that's quite a large number of birds coming through at the moment. There's like 20, probably 25, I'd say. I at first thought there was going to be 30, but we've had a couple of blanks. Oh, look out. Apache's up here being silly. We'll have a look at him in a minute. He gets funny when we don't film him. But look how dark these little babies are. Unreal. It's going to be interesting to see how these ones turn out. And I'm pretty sure I just put the rings on these ones as well. Okay, yeah, so the rings are on there. Got to check sometimes. I've missed 1 or 2 last year, but on those big turkey legs. But I'm pretty happy how these ones have turned out anyway. So I've been following these ones pretty well, because this is the first pair or babies from this pairing. This hen did have a round before, but she was paired to the current cockbird's half brother, but this time we changed him over. She's going to finish this round off, and then she's going to go back in the flying loft. She's only done 2 rounds, so we'll see how they turn out. They're looking really good. The first round is in meadows, so hopefully they do well. And he's not happy with me because he can't see me hidden down here. You want your time on camera? You're a funny pigeon, I tell you. And we'll quickly poke our head in here. The weather, well, the breeze has come in, so we should be able to get these birds up flying in this sea breeze. They do really enjoy that. But they're all looking pretty good, actually. So these guys are on Turbosol as well for 2 days, just as a preventive measure. Just because, like I said before, this weather, just trying to ease it into them. I want to get them flying, but I don't want to stress them out too much by like getting them up every single day when it's like too warm. So get days like today, they come out for a little bit of a fly, and hopefully they do respect that. Come on, it's your turn to go back in there. We're going to bring in these other little babies. I had them up for a while in the boxes, and look at them. They're up to no good as normal, knocking over me feed trays. But they've had free range of the box up here, so that's my training box. Come on. Just making a mess everywhere. Alright. Come on. Come on. Come on. Alright. They're all out. I need to get the older ones out for a fly. I really need to work on this little thing, I tell you. This is one job that I was meant to do this summer. Sort out this trap, but you know, we'll get there eventually. Come on, you guys. You can have some grit later. Alright, go in there, have a drink, relax. These guys need to go out for a fly. A little quick squeeze in here. All our new birds doing, you know, they're quite happy. They're really settling in. I've just got them in this section for the time being. Most of these ones here are going to stay in these two sections. What I'll do is I'll bring across a lot of the birds that I want to breed from later this year. And we'll just keep them in this section. That's something we'll go through later on. Some of them we can fly, some we won't. I don't plan on flying any of these ones. I don't want to lose any of these. I want these genetics to test out. Come on, you guys. Back in your section. Come on. Oh, she's a bit cheeky. Alright. All these babies here doing really well. I'm quite happy how a lot of these are turning out. These are the last round, which is good. Then we can get into basically splitting up the pairs. Some of these birds will go back out flying because he can fly. He raced last season. He may race again this season. We'll see. There's some of my older birds that flew the whole season and they're still here, so I decided to do a bit of breeding off them. This hen may go again. She was pretty consistent, that hen. I was quite happy how she done. And there is another hen in here too. Oh, the ugly hen, here she is. She's paired up with Shock, so she will go back over into the flying loft as well, and she will definitely be racing because she was the only special ring bird that made it back. Let's have a look at these colours while we're here. Look at these guys. I think they're just going to be basically the same as what we've got, but this one's going to be very interesting. It's got that super charcoal-y colour in it with little white highlights on it, so that might be some interesting variation of tiger grizzle. I don't mind it. It's actually not too bad a grizzle because it's kind of like a light grey, like a pastel-y kind of grey, which is very interesting. So we'll see how they turn out. They're flying pretty well, the nestmates to these, brothers and sisters, sorry. So yeah, I'm happy. I really want to get one of these grizzles to the race. That would be fantastic. My grizzles got wiped out before we even got to the race. But you know, our first race is 220 kilometers, so it's, you know, it's a hard slog to get them to that point, which is, you know, a bit frustrating, but that's fun of being down the back. Anyway, let's get these guys out for a quick fly. Let's see what Maverick's up to. He's such a character. I was cleaning the loft before and he's trying to peck me through this. I think he's going to be worse than Apache, I think. He's such an aggressive little pigeon. The others aren't like that. They're quite timid, so. But you, we'll try and keep you this tame. You're a funny pigeon. Alright, go back on your perch. Alright, we'll see how well they go. At the moment, they're only doing the kind of short flying in the afternoon, which is fine. I'm not pushing them that hard. We've still got a long time before we need to start tossing them. Once that weather starts cooling down, probably 2-3 months, they should start flying a lot longer. But that's when we generally hit problems. When we start flying for that hour around the loft, that's when the falcons from over there like to wait for the ideal time and hit my birds. So we haven't been too bad so far, touch wood. But as long as we keep to these afternoon flies for about 20 minutes, half hour, we generally seem to not have too much trouble. If I fly them in the morning, that's the falcon's onto them within like a minute, so I try and avoid that at the moment because they're not as strong on the wing as I'd like. They haven't really started roaming yet. I don't know where they are, but I don't want to lose too many. Oh, there they are. Watch out! That's a feral pigeon. Where'd he come from? Oh, get away. Oh my gosh, yuck, look at that. It's got festy things all over its eyes and everything. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna get my birds in away from that thing. Oh my gosh, look how ugly that thing is. Ugh. Yuck. That is absolutely disgusting. I'm going to try and bring my birds in without getting this thing, and I don't want that anywhere near my birds. Although we're, oh my gosh, oh dear Lord. Blech. Come on, get inside quick before Festy Pigeon gets you. Quick. Oh, that's, come on. I see they're panting, it's pretty warm. Come on. Still got one up flying, but this little Festy thing, that's as close as it's got so far. I'm trying to keep it away. It's only got one leg as well. Try and get my birds in. I'm going to try and shoo it away because that does not look healthy. Yeah, maybe don't touch that one, buddy. Nah, it's a bit yucky. Yeah, I know, that's not one of mine. Nope, definitely not. Ew, yuck. Now I have to try and catch you, get rid of you. Oh, now I'll tell you what, that was so close. Like, that just shows you how careful you have to be. Although my birds are treated for PMV and rota, you know, other birds in this loft aren't. Some little babies in some of the nests, they haven't been done. You know, some of the ones we just brought in haven't been done, but they'll be in that next slot. But you just don't know. That's obviously got some kind of a chlamydia or, you know, one-eye cold, that kind of stuff. Luckily, it didn't go anywhere near my birds, but I did catch it, put some gloves on anyway, and wash my hands and put it in a bag and things like that, and we will deal with it. It's obviously lost a leg. It's significantly infected by something. Like, I have to have some look at it. I've never seen a pigeon that bad before, and it's obviously been clipped by a hawk or falcon or something as well. Maybe the falcon was like, mate, I am not going to eat this thing, and let it go because it's disgusting. But yeah, that's a typical street pigeon. It's obviously just a little squeaker. It's got lost, not too well, and whew, tell you what, I'm lucky that thing didn't get any of my birds, I tell you. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next video. I'm going to keep these guys in today just in case there's any more little Festy McNuggets flying around here, because that was horrible.